Thank you for being here. Welcome. I see wonderful, familiar faces. I see new friends. I'm really blessed to be here with you. My name is Pan Williams. I'm here live from Oak, which is a modern monastery here in the Bay. It's a blessing to be with the community and to lead you today through some discussion, some Q&A at the end, but really a lot of focus on practice. We're going to be experiencing an exploration of loving aliveness. This is a series of practices that have emerged for me from different teachings, mostly through nature, and it's been very beneficial for me. And I know that many of us, all of us, collectively, individually, are going through a lot right now. It is intense. It needs to be named that there's a lot people are carrying in for many people. I don't want to project that to everyone, but I can speak for myself. Been deeply affected by some of the events that have happened, unfolded with racial injustice, in particular this last week. So bringing that in. Blessedly, we will actually have a chance to hear from Magik later today. This is Chanel Sowers Magik. She is a wonderful apprentice here at Oak, and it has been an incredible gift to me, to us, to have her here. And to have her as part of this community. And so I'm bringing her into this. You know, I wanted to do this theme of loving aliveness, and I started planning this out last week, and this is what has emerged. And so my prayer is that this will be of benefit to all of us as we move through all the crises that are happening, and as we walk forward through challenges together on the spiritual path. There's strength and goodness in this as well. So it's really wonderful to be here with each of you. So during this sit, contextually, at any time, if you need to take care of yourself, you need to use the bathroom, get water, please feel free. You can stand up, stretch, you can be seated, you can be lying down. All of these postures work differently for different people. So I encourage you to really take care of yourself and really like to have this container be empowered for you to have a beneficial experience. We're going to be doing a lot of practices that are that may be different from what you've experienced before. And some of them may resonate with you and others maybe not so much. So throughout the time together, I would just encourage you, if at any time the guidance that I'm giving during meditation isn't resonating with you, or maybe there's another practice that would really call to you more deeply, such as what we did before with noticing how we're feeling, I want to empower you to go back to that, if that would be of benefit to you. Yeah. So yeah, why meditation? This is the thing that's coming to me. We join here to do this practice. In a nutshell, it just needs to be said that as we wish well for all the world, we have our own inner work that must happen in order for us to purify our minds and open to our true alignment with our nature, our deep Buddha nature. That's the loving, all goodness, nature of goodness. So that's why we, for this path for myself, and as I see it for the oak, the maple tradition, we do this in the service of all life. We give ourselves over to this practice so that we may get out of our own way, so that we may get beyond our stuckness, our patterns, our habits, our places where we're held back, and unveil our true radiance. Then we can be of beautiful service to the world. One of the teachings that Soryu has brought to me, that I just continue to resonate, is that so many of the great leaders throughout history have also been spiritual practitioners. And we talked this week about how Martin Luther King Jr. and Gandhi, and these were deep spiritual practitioners. And within that was this liberation movement. This is something that I really hold so deeply, that here we are together as we deepen our direct connection to nature, as we deepen our presence in each moment, and just being directly connected, we can overcome much of the division, much of the separateness, much of the disconnection, the disconnect, the isolation. Through the meditation practice, as it unfolds, there is a unity that comes. Each night here at Oak, we chant the mantra from the Tibetan tradition, Om Mani Padme Hum. And it means there's great compassion in wisdom. And it also means there's great wisdom in compassion. And the lesson that it brings now for me, that I share to you, is that our wisdom is the letting go of the small idea of self into something beyond ourselves. That is universality. And in that wisdom is compassion. So miraculously, as we let go, as we surrender, as we transcend, what flows forth, what is left, what remains, is a deep, unshakable compassion, a care, a well-wishing, a connection, and a lived sense of deep love. And what a miracle that this is our nature. We don't have to build this. We don't have to construct this. This is what is truly there when we purify the mind, when we go through all the conditioning and the baggage and the delusion and all the muck, and we work through it. And that's what we do in the practice of meditation. One of the cool things about it, I think, is that as we're doing it, we don't even have to mentally figure out the whole thing. We don't have to psychoanalyze ourselves to death. We don't have to go too crazy. We just stay with the focus space. And then the other stuff unwinds naturally. The other samskaras, these pattern habits that we have, as we build concentration, as we deepen our practice, as we develop equanimity and care and love, all of this will naturally break down the stuck places, the spots where there's tightness somatically. This is a healing process that we don't have to even understand every little thing that ever happened to us to heal it. And that is a great blessing. And so today we'll be working with connecting with nature and connecting with life, knowing that this is a process that can be deeply transformative, and is a way that we can sustain, heal, inspire ourselves as we develop connection. We want to be more of service as this compassion comes forth, and we can love ourselves deeply. We can take the gifts that nature gives us and that life, that connection with all of life. When we are connected, then that is our family. That is our support network. That is our team. When we stand for all of life, then we are supported by all of life. And there's incredible nourishment and vitality and healing and invigoration, inspiration that we might that we can develop access to, or that will emerge. And I guess each of us has their own path. Each of us has their own relation to all of this. Each of us has had experiences. Each of us has some connection to nature. And so what I want to move into next is actually we're going to do a practice where we drop into kind of an embodied experience of nature that we're going to call forth. And one of the things that I wanted to bring to you today is that there's nothing better than just being in nature. Actually, welcome. New friend has joined. Hello, welcome in here. So there's no substitute for being in nature. But that is, as we found out with the pandemic time, and I guess always for all of us, and some people much more difficult. Some people have access to nature, some people don't. But you don't always. It's never a guarantee that we could actually just go to nature, go to a park, go to an outdoor area, that there's one nearby. In fact, I know for a fact, having done these connection calls with people, that there's not always. And so I wanted to bring, the sense that we can connect with nature even when we're not physically there. But please physically go there too, anytime you can. Please, I'm looking at some screens, I'm seeing stuff. You might even notice I put some houseplants out here. There's some good friends. You can have houseplants if that's just a, kind of a side tip, that's a bonus freebie, but houseplants are nice to have. But you don't need them. And I guess the point is, even from a prison cell, you can access a connection to all of life. You can develop that and cultivate that. And that's a great blessing. Yeah. So let's take a moment to, as our dear friend Shinzen Young would say, straighten up and settle in. I'll ring a bell. So let's begin again with feeling, noticing felt sensations. They could be emotional or physical, something else that you're feeling, energy. What are you feeling? Feeling, noticing what's alive in your felt experience right now, and staying with that. And staying with feeling, specifically feel the weight of the earth, the feeling of the earth beneath you on your seat, and any other felt connection to the earth beneath you. Dropping down low. Any stories, any distractions that come, it's okay. Just come back to the earth, the feeling, sensation on your body where it meets the cushion or the seat beneath you, the sense of gravity. And open to this. What is it like? continuing to feel this and tap into this felt experience, do you notice any stillness of the earth? Can you find the quiet of the earth? Explore it. Note if it's there, maybe something else is there. See if you can find this simple, still quiet of this earth beneath us. Feeling into it. And notice if you can allow a sense of being held, receiving the gift of this great earth to walk upon, of this body, the gift of this incarnate body, beautiful living body here on the earth. Feeling whatever arises, pleasant, unpleasant, neutral, changing, staying the same, continuing to drop into the feeling, staying with the weight of the earth, the feel of your connection to the earth beneath. Simple earth that accepts us, gives us the very ground to be alive upon. Is there a simple peace or a sense of gratitude or some other wisdom that's coming to you? And all the beings across the planet, our whole family, everyone to live, has been in some way on this earth. None of us made it, yet here we are, miraculously alive, together on this shared planet. Feel into that. Feel into that unity. Or if that's too much for you, just feel whatever you're feeling right now. Even if you're feeling resistance to me talking, go ahead and feel that. All the feelings are welcome. Here we are together, each of us having our own unique experience in each moment, and yet united. All of us alive together, all of us interconnected. This group and beyond. staying with it, being with the feels, allowing. All is welcome. Everything you feel is okay. The earth accepts all parts of you, and you are totally held and welcome. And once again, always coming back to simplicity of what are you feeling right in this moment? What's there? Accepting it, seeing it clearly, allowing each experience to arise and pass away. Feeling. Whatever feelings are there, it's okay. There's universal acceptance. Unconditional, loving kindness and care and allowing. Welcome back, everyone, back to the group space. Welcome, Daniel, who just joined us. So I'd like to take some time to let everyone say their name and to allow you to share a few words, maybe let's say between no more than 5 words about how the meditation was for you that we just experienced together. So you can also pass if you don't feel like sharing. And yeah, you get 5 words. Choose them wisely if you like.
Should we start with Pam?
Let's start with Pam. Hello, Pam. Do we have audio?
Yes, I do. Sorry.
Oh, that's great. Hi, Pam.
Hi. It's just a little different than Zoom, and I'm hooked into Zoom. So, hello, my name is Pam Tarlow. I'm in Los Angeles area, and this is a highlight of my week. And how the meditation affected me is I'm sitting outside and enjoying it.
Thank you, Pam. That's great. Yeah. So yeah, that's great. Your name, you could say where you are, and yeah, you get your 5 words.
Renee.
Hi, Renee.
I'm Renee. I'm in Akron, Ohio, and I love being in this weekly sit with all of you.
Thank you, Renee. Love being with you as well.
Gerge?
Hi, I'm Gary. I'm also in Los Angeles. And I'm also glad to be joining everyone here.
Wonderful. Thank you. Nice to be here with you.
Lynn and Bob?
Unmute. Okay. We're Lynn and Bob, and we are in Stowe, Vermont, and we are holding our 3-week-old grandson. And
Oh,
it's
congratulations.
lovely to be with all of you.
Lovely to be with you as well.
Amy?
I can see, but I can't hear you.
How's that?
Now we can hear you.
Okay.
All right. Hi, Amy.
I am Amy Raby, Lenexa, Kansas. It's good. SpaceX went.
Okay. Thank you, Amy.
Danielle?
Hey, Danielle in Oakland. Experienced heaviness, being held, floatiness, and release during the meditation.
Nice. Great word choice. And hello. I'm so happy to see you.
Rich?
Hi, Rich.
Hi, everyone. Hello. Wonderful to be with you. I'm in the second floor of our house in Akron, Ohio, and I'm here and felt the healing of a heart that's been broken.
Thank you, Rich. Thank you.
Summer?
Hi, Summer. We can definitely see you, but we can't hear you. Okay. Did anyone hear Summer? Okay. Oh, she's working on it? Okay.
Maybe while Summer's figuring it out, Angie?
Okay.
Can you see me? Hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, there you go. Hi. Hey.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm currently in LA as well. And my 5 words about that sit are, I feel less alone now.
I feel less
Thank
alone
you.
now. Oh, that's great. Okay. Thank you, Angie. We have,
Oh boy, my.
is Margaret next?
Yeah, Margaret, please.
Hi, Margaret. Hey.
Hi, so nice to see you.
It's wonderful to see you as well.
Thank you. I'm Margaret in Colchester, Vermont. And during the sit, this warm green glow filled my body and soothed my sad and fearful heart.
Thank you.
Summer, did you find the unmute button?
Indeed, I did. Thank you.
Yes, welcome. Hi.
Hello, it's lovely to be here. Thank you to my dear friend Chanel for inviting me.
Thank you for coming.
Happy to be here with you and to support the collective. The meditation was connective to the collected, where I felt anxiety, desperation, fear, hope, and desire.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm.
Let's have Munir go next.
Hey, Unir. Hello.
Hello,
Hi.
Unir from San Jose, and during the sit I felt waviness and curiosity.
Thank you. Good to be here with you. Feeling the blank? Hey, Daniel, are you there? Oh, okay. I'll read it aloud. He said, hello, I'm Daniel Blank. I'm in Berkeley. Sadly, I missed the meditation. Hi, Daniel. Well, don't you worry. There will be more opportunities to meditate time together. So welcome. Happy you're here. Yeah. Okay. And then do we have, who's next? Is there more people or is that everybody? Okay. There was one more. Yeah, some people left. Person I saw. Okay. Cool. Well, wonderful. That's great. Thank you all for your shared experience of that. Do we want to hear people here in the room and introduce ourselves here to the modern monastic team here at Oak, a residential community practitioners? Let's see, Magik, do you want to kick us off?
Sure.
Yeah.
Peace. I'm Magik. Apprenticing here for almost a month and a half now. Yeah. Nice to be here with you guys.
Mm-hmm. Any words from the meditation?
I felt present. Felt present.
Thank you. Okay.
Hi there, I'm Alice. I've been an apprentice at both Maple and Oak. The meditation for me was heart opening and releasing.
Thank you. Did everyone hear? Okay, thank you.
Hi, I'm Kyle. I'm a new apprentice here. I got here a few weeks ago. And the meditation for me was grounding and very expansive. I felt anchored in.
Grounding, expansive, anchored in. Very nice. Okay. That's wonderful. Well, I'm very happy to be together with all of you. I'm going to take a sip of water. Oh my goodness. I can't forget about Zev Benjamin over here, our fine technical expert who's running the show behind the scenes, doing all the work, so I can just sit here and talk at you. He's doing something.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Zev. I'm running some of the tech stuff behind the show. I really enjoyed from the meditation, the connecting with the stillness of the earth and feeling held by it.
Thank you. Perfect. Thanks. Yeah, so I want to share a little bit about my own journey that might be contextual. I've gone down a long road with trying to use the resources at my disposal to make a positive impact on the world. And I started out trying to just be really throw myself into activism, social change, politics. I worked as my job for nonprofit groups for environmental social change, worked in elections, trying to make systemic changes. This is all very important and good work. The long story short is that I was missing a deeper connection with life itself and with all living beings, with the world. And so that direct connection I found through meditation. And it's from this place of being directly connected that I found that I'm more and more and more able to really truly open and be, instead of it being, I'm doing some good things in the world, but it's really, a lot of it is about me and my ego, and I'm also kind of careless, and maybe there are parts of myself that I'm not willing to look at, this kind of thing. As I moved into inner work, meditation, that all became clear to me. And this could be seen as, I've been talking about the first noble truth quite a bit recently in Buddhism. It's this it's very deep, so there's many layers to it, but one of the layers is recognizing your own suffering, or it's the truth is that there is suffering, and to come into a deeper connection with that truth in Buddhism is considered to be part of the spiritual progression. And that is certainly viscerally alive in this last week for some of the folks I've connected with, and with myself, particularly people of color, although people of color have also been going through systemic oppression for their entire lives. So in some way, the events of what's happening are surprising, maybe more surprising for people who haven't, haven't been systemically oppressed, white people such as myself. We haven't had to think about a lot of what's been happening in the division and the racism that's still systemically embedded in our systems of, well, pretty much everything. So within that, I hope that these, that what I really feel good about is certainly continuing to do activism and make change, in all the different ways. And there are many different ways that we do this. But coming from a place of deep connection, love, an actual embodied presence, where it's not all up here, it's actually lived and felt in loving connection. So yes, nature can help us to go beyond ourselves. It can humble us. It can show us such abundance. Everything that we have, all the things in our world are given as abundant gifts. We didn't create the earth beneath us. We didn't create the sky. We didn't put the sun up there, but it's there for us, and we reap its benefits all the time. And so we're so blessed, and that's something we can tap into. As we have systems of oppression and injustice, as we connect and become more loving, then we're more able to do work to get beyond that stuff and build something new and beautiful, and embody wisdom and embody love and bring that into creating a better world. And it's really a message of empowerment for me. I mean, the benefits of the practice and the aliveness, that carries me. I could say it saved my life in a way. Yes. And so as we do the inner work, we're more able to do the outer work. And then we create a feedback loop. As we work to make change in the world, we deeply embody and empower ourselves, and we engage, and we do good things. We help people in many different ways. But that shines back into our spiritual path and growth. And there's no separation. These are integrated. That's the path that we follow here in the teachings of, Maple, Oak, and in my view, Mahayana path of Buddhism. So this integrated service and action. And here, as we do this practice, we break the negative feedback loop, which is we have these systems of oppression, and we have our minds, and it's our minds from which we originally built these systems, whether it's government or police state, economies, all the way back to institutions of slavery, monarchies. We create all these things from our minds, and then we live within them, and they continue to influence and shape our minds, and we're conditioned. We're conditioned by them since our whole lives, and so one of the ways so this is a feedback loop that when it's rooted in selfishness and greed and division, and then that's a recipe for things getting worse. But we break that cycle. One of the ways we do that is by doing this transformative practice with our own inner work. And when we do that, then we break this trap that we're in. And instead, we can then have a beneficial impact on the world, more so. And a positive feedback loop can be formed where we're doing good things, and we're helping each other, and and then from that we're feeling empowered, and we do more letting go. And then from letting go, we're blessed with more energy. It arises. Surprising what unfolds when we surrender. We are lifted, we are carried by life force energy when we get out of our own way. And I know it might sound far out, but it's a real thing. It's a real embodied energetic experience that I'll just say it's life-changing. So, and whatever, so we develop this relationship with nature, and again, do this in nature. Go into nature, and then like take these practices there. But the cool thing is you're doing it from just a house right now. So, or wherever you are, an apartment, most people, some people, yeah, but you can imagine that if you're doing, if you're practicing indoors, then it can be even better outdoors in the future. So you've got that. So with that, let's drop into some more practice. Ring a bell to begin. Coming into the moment, dropping into the present. Imagine in your mind's eye a beautiful glowing ball of radiant sunlight. Warm, loving sunshine. The perfect temperature. Feel it now. See it and feel. Sun, warmth. It's not too hot, it's just perfect. And it feels like care. It feels like love. It feels like acceptance. And it shines on everything that arises. Anything that is going on in your experience, this sun shines love and well wishes too. You can feel the sun, you can see the sun. Or if you can't feel it too much, or you can't see it too much, that's okay too, but you can have the intention. That's the important thing. And any feelings that come up, any mental talk that comes up, the sun just shines on all of it. It shines on your whole body. It shines on anything that's difficult, any tough emotions. And you can work with this sun by saying, may you be well. May you be happy. May you be completely liberated and free. Each sunbeam coming to you is loving you, shining unconditionally. The sun doesn't discriminate. The sun shines on everybody. The sun shines on you. The sun shines on all the beings. Feel the love. Feel care. Feel acceptance. And if resistance comes, if pain is there, then love that. Let the sun shine on that. If happiness and joy is there, then let the sun shine on that. Sun is love, care, acceptance, other forms of goodness. Let the sun shine. May all beings be happy. Everyone, everywhere, be happy. Any effort that you're putting in, anywhere that feels like struggle, that's okay. Shine on that. It's okay. Shine on anything that's difficult. Anyone that needs love, shine on them. Or feel the goodness, feel the joy, whatever it is for you, shine. Accepting the blessings, this radiant goodness. And the sun is no different than you. The sun is no different than your true nature and your true essence. You are this radiant, loving, divine being. Receive the sun. Give the well wishes out to all, to anything that comes up in your experience. Maybe you want to shine it somewhere specific. That's okay too. Shine on your desire to put it somewhere specific. Shine on everything. Universality and connection. The whole family, whole world getting covered by all the sun that they need exactly to nourish, care for. May you be well. May you be happy. May you be completely free. Say that to everything. Say that to yourself. Feel the sun. Your nature is that of goodness. We are all the same nature of goodness. We are all going through our own path, our own challenges, our own joys and sorrows. And we are united in compassion, shining without care, discrimination, but universality, complete acceptance. The sun is always here for you. You can always see it. If you can't see it, sometimes you can't see it, you can always feel it. Sometimes you can't feel it, you can always say, may you be well. And that's as powerful as the sun. May you be happy and may you be well. Mm. Mm. Thank you for practicing that together. Mm. It's really a joy to get to do this with you, with all of us together. Does anyone have anything that they'd like to share after that experience? Could maybe raise your hand if you'd like to share. I see at least one physical hand raised, and there might be a hand-raising system or something. Okay, one physical hand in the air. I see Margaret.
Yeah, that was me. I didn't see a hand raised.
Okay, hey Margaret, what would you like to share?
Well, thank you. That was beautiful and warm and comforting.
Okay.
In the first part of your talk, I think you said this phrase. You said we are all alive together, which just sounds like such a simple phrase, but that is really impactful for me. I like it. I'm gonna keep it. We are all alive together. It's just a slightly different way, but I can really feel that. It resonated with me. So that's going to be my first takeaway from the evening. And it's just great to hear you speak, Pan. Thanks.
Wow, thanks, Margaret. I appreciate that. We're all alive together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's it's nice to just even hear my own words. I'm like, I talk a lot, so then to hear somebody reflecting back, that was nice. And I want to say to people, you know, there's a lot of information that I'm sharing with you. And so, you know, some of it's going to land and some of it's going to be maybe not as resonant with you. And my strategy is I'll throw a lot of stuff out and then you can kind of take what works. And if something doesn't work, you don't have to go with that. And you just like, you know, pick it up as you go. Yeah. Okay, I see another hand. There's 2 more hands. Summer followed by Amy.
I love what you said about the sun. I do a lot of work with the sun. I did a visualization when you were talking about the sun meeting all people, where I saw all people connected, holding hands in a holographic image to heal our ancestral past, to heal our future, to heal us now with the warmth and the life that the sun gives. So it was a beautiful visualization that I was able to sustain. And we were swaying and singing in the sound of Om. So I'll do more of that. May even lead a group. I have a class on Monday. I'll be teaching and may end with that, getting us all together for that. So thank you.
Wow. Oh, yeah. Good. Oh, that's exciting. Oh, and I see. Oh, yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, please tell me how your class goes, and if I can be of any further help or whatever, let me know.
Always. Thank you.
Yeah. Blessings upon you. Shine the phone. That's great. I feel the sun. See, it's so wonderful when we sometimes it's just we carry the goodness with you. You know, the practice of love and kindness just shines with you still as you go forward, and that's the integration piece. And so I'm feeling, I think hearing you share, I'm feeling some that sun just coming out even brighter. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I see Amy. Hello, Amy. It's so nice to see you.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Yeah.
I think kind of somewhat of a same thing with what Summer was saying, the sun. And in fact, just earlier today at a different group, a lady mentioned to me, hana hana. I don't know if that's a familiar phrase to any of you, but
yes. Hawaiian phrase. Yes.
Yeah, it does remind me a little bit of that sun visualization. I don't know it's the same thing, but
could you state what ho'opono means?
What was that?
Could you state what that phrase means?
You know, I don't know that I can adequately explain, but it's this this warm white light that we give to the others, and it's healing, it's illuminating, it's friendliness, all that.
And what could you say the word again?
Hana hana.
Hana hana.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you.
So that was very nice. The other thing I want to kind of mention was at the beginning, I think during the early parts of the guidance, I kind of felt like I was striving a little bit, trying to really follow the direction. And then all of a sudden, I think you said, just feel whatever you're feeling.
That's always the backup plan. Just feel whatever you're feeling. Like, let it be known, whatever you're doing, whenever, just you have my blessing to just feel whatever you're feeling.
It was all of a sudden a relief, and I go, huh.
There you go.
A relief. That was good. Thank you.
Well, that's why I started. Why I started grounding us down into our bodies too. So it'd just be like anytime you can just feel your feelings, feel your body, feel your emotions, feel your physical experience. Yeah. Thanks for sharing, Amy. Oh, yeah. Very good. Mm-hmm. Anything from y'all? Good. Who's raising their hand? In the green? Oh, Daniela. Oh, yes, yes. Okay.
Hey, yeah, that was super lovely. In my experience of it, I noticed anytime something would come into my experience, I would kind of picture it as if I had a preschool, and each thing that came up would be a kid in the preschool, and I would bring them outside. And at first, when you said, let them be happy, I had a little resistance to that because they're not all happy. But then I just thought, let them be. And I let them be out in the sunshine. And I could just see them more clearly, like all the different children I could see so much more clearly. And it was really nice to be able to view like different sides of them.
What a powerful image and metaphor of these children. Oh, that's so wonderful that you're able to work with them and care for them in that way. And cool.
Yeah.
That's great. And yeah, there's something really to be said always for just acceptance, allowing, and welcoming, the universality. I just love that the sun is this incredible metaphor and this potent elemental force. I mean, you can go out and meditate in the sun while you're doing this, and it's like, wow. But it's just so beautiful how it shines on everybody, and it just gives its light to everybody. And it's just such a beautiful, and it's just the more it gives, it just keeps going. Yeah. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. And I want to go back too to what Summer mentioned about. I actually have this written. This is a y'all want a cheat sheet? I have like this like thing of all these like just different inspirational words and stuff. I'm like Buddha nature and embodied. I don't know. So I have this down, but I had, I wanted to talk about the ancestors and the future ones, because these practices, as we connect with nature, as we connect with the web of life, these big archetypal forces and elemental forces like the sun and the earth, this really unites us in big ways, and in big embodied, transformatively embodied ways, where we can much more deeply connect with all the ancestors of the past that have walked this earth, that have been shown the sun. We're so united with all of them. We keep ourselves trapped from it, but when we tap into it, it's deeply empowering, like this incredible lineage behind us. Like team life has been rocking and rolling here on planet Earth, and like we're part of that. We have that power, and just to like viscerally embody that, that's really potent. And you can bring that into your meditation, with these kinds of practices. As I'm teaching them, like I encourage creativity, I encourage even spontaneity. Like Danielle, you were bringing up these children, working with the children in the sun, and that's great. Some practices, there's a lot of value in them when they're just like very straightforward, follow the breath at the tip of your nose as you feel it there, and that's it. And there's a lot of value in that. That cuts through any sort of wandering or distraction, or it's excellent for developing really strong concentration. But with what I'm teaching today, I give you explicit permission to kind of play and experiment, because this to me is an exploratory journey. It's nurturing the positivity, the goodness, and there's a lot of fun room to play with that. So I want to give you all that too. But also the future generations. So I mentioned the ancestors, but those yet to come, as we connect with with this, all this stuff, the web of life, the world, the earth. That's how we care about and develop our world for the future. That's the 7 generations. I love that that teaching of you should live 7 generations out. It's a indigenous teaching. You should think about 7 generations down the line. Are they going to have a nice place, or is it going to be stripped of all its resources and all? So everything's going to be polluted and extinct. So you don't just think about you right now. It's not selfish. It's way out. It's a bigger view. And then this direct experience, as we cultivate direct embodied experience, where we're connecting even just with the present moment, suddenly we tap in and we develop and cultivate relationships with the future. Now, this again inspires us to take action, to change our lives, to actually change our lives, to do good things, to try and protect the planet for the future. And it's when we're deeply open to that, then we can be confident that we're not going to just go back to our selfish, petty things when the rubber hits the road. Like when things get hard, how are you gonna show up? And this practice, this training that we do, empowers us. It gives us strength. It gives us equanimity so that we can be more resilient, and it unites us so that we can be unified in purpose and life force. And and when we've gone beyond ourselves, we can't be nearly as easily manipulated, swayed, or forced into anything when we've surrendered. We're okay with that. And if you look back at like Buddhist scriptures, I mean, he talks about being so compassionate that he's allowing people to, like, he gives himself over to the whole world, his very life. And so we build this strength, resilience, and then we turn that towards service. We are naturally, as this path unfolds, as the wisdom deepens, we're naturally more compassionate. We are pulled, called, motivated to action, to changing our lives for the good. We're less small idea of me as a fixed little box human in my individualized little apartment or thing, and we can go beyond and we can connect. And this has huge implications, and it can, and maybe is the thing that is needed to save the planet. If we can connect back with the whole earth and actually have that be our lives, and not have to find, when we're disconnected, we have to find our meaning and our pleasure and everything elsewhere. So we turn to consumerism, and we turn to all these other attempts to escape, to numb, or to try and find something. And we chase around pursuits in life. And meanwhile, we're not really part of the solution. And in fact, we may be causing the problem. And so when we are nourished and we don't need all this external stuff to make us happy, we don't need all these fancy pleasures, and we don't need all these, we can enjoy them, we love them, they're great, we like them even more, but we don't need them, we're not dependent on them. We can be sustained just by sitting here imagining an image and feeling of the sun. That's revolutionary. Just don't tell that to the people who are running the economy. They will come, I'm serious. I mean, it's one of the reasons why, yeah, you can go real deep into all that stuff. But this is revolutionary in that way. If you can find the best feeling, loving kindness experience of your life, and you don't have to spend a dime, that's a pretty good bang for your buck. I'm not an economist. So it's good. It's good. This is what it's called for, and I just want to affirm you, in front of each of us here, that like this is the kind of transformative practice that we can incorporate into the rest of our lives, and then that will have benefit and impact. So why don't we do this? I'd like to do just a little more practice, and then I do want to leave plenty of time for people to share or digest or ask questions. So we'll do some more meditation, and then we'll have some time for community discussion. Great. Take a moment to find yourself here, right now, present. And I invite you to tune into the feeling of the moisture in your mouth. Is there any saliva, moisture in your mouth? What is that sensory experience like? To just feel what's going on in your mouth with moisture, feel any wetness on your tongue? Or is it dry? And as you stay with that water, just recognize that all of the life on earth is water. We all have water in our bodies, filling us, flowing through us, nourishing us. If you like, you can visualize water. You could think about the waters of the earth. Waterfalls, rivers. Let this visual image come if it calls to you. Maybe a still lake, maybe the vast ocean, maybe a single raindrop on a leaf. And the feeling, the water in your mouth. Maybe there's a sense of water throughout your body, beyond just your saliva that you can feel on your tongue. Maybe there's a sense of your blood coursing through your heartbeat. Water. This water flows through all of us. We are united. This water comes and goes. It flows. See if you can tune into aspects of change or flow in your experience. Can you see the river running in your mind's eye? Can you feel flowing movement in your body? Or simple change? Even noticing the sound of my voice changing. The flow. All of us nourished. Think of a time when you were thirsty. A tall glass of cool water in front of you. simple beauty of life-giving water. You have some water with you, you can drink it. Physically drink water if you have it, if you like. Feel it in your mouth and your tongue. This water is loving, this water is soothing, this water nourishes and gives life. This water is here for you. When we care for water, we care for each other. Feel care, gratitude, love for the water, whatever arises. Explore your connection to the water. Even let it pour over you. From the simple bit of saliva on your tongue, all the way to the great and mighty oceans of the world. We are here together, united. Niwakoni, water is life. And if you are called, make a commitment to yourself now. As you stay in connection with water, you stay in connection with all beings. The water in all beings, all beings. Make a commitment to care for them, to love for them, to live your life in a way that celebrates and cherishes water and all beings, to live your life in a way that demonstrates care by taking action. Acting in embodied love, connection, all the beings all over the planet Earth, all vibrantly thriving water, aliveness, loving aliveness. Feel that connection, care. Feel gratitude to be given the water you need to live, thrive, and even feeling the pain that not all beings have all the water that they need. If that's there, open to that. Be with all beings, however they are. This water is soothing, nourishing, healing. Noticing its nature to come and go, each moment to come and go, renewed in each new arising, born again in each passing moment, flowing ever onward. Open to whatever gifts this has for you. And shine any light of care to this water. You have any gratitude that you have. Reflect it back. Cultivating this connection and care. Connection to the life force in the water that flows through you. Connection to the life force in the water that flows through all of us. And you can always come back to this. You can always tap back in the water. It's a great blessing, and it fills our bodies at each moment of our lives. Simply feeling your tongue on the roof of your mouth, and there you are with our wonderful friend, water. And for the last few minutes, you can choose any of the 3 techniques we've done so far. The first, feeling your body, connecting with the earth. The second, visualizing, feeling bright, beautiful, universally loving sunlight. And the third, being soothed and healed and connected through the flowing waters. Choose one or maybe 2 or even all 3 of these to explore. What would it be like to create an entire scene of this elemental experience? Choose whatever resonates with you. This is your time to practice. And feel my love and my appreciation for you as well. Okay, everyone, welcome back to from the meditation. Thank you for sharing that experience. It was a great blessing to share with you. Thank you. So now I'd like to check in with Magik and see, was this a good time for you still feel called to offer a blessing of some kind or to share?
Sure.
Okay, so we're gonna have Magik share. Do you feel good there? Or would you like to switch or?
Can y'all hear me? Is this good? Oh, well then it's good then.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Peace, everybody. This has been an interesting. And then today, Pan asked me if I wanted to be present in this way. And I'm like, well, I guess I gotta put words to it. So let's do it. So I give thanks for that because I felt as though I was having a resistance to that. And, you know, this is allowing me to kind of really go into it. So thank you, Pan. Before I go in, I want to share a quote that was said 6 decades ago, and it's still very true today. When we see that our problem is so complicated and so all-encompassing in its intent and content that we realize that it is no longer a Negro problem, confined only to the American Negro, that it is no longer an American problem, confined only to America, but is a problem for humanity. And this quote was made by one of my great inspirations, Malcolm X. I've been speaking about him a lot. Well, with his birthday being last week, and then with what's been happening out here in this world. Initially, in thinking about this, I recognize that I will be speaking, I do a lot of talks, I do a lot of workshops, but never have I spoken in a place, in a room or chat room with people who have the shells of being so-called white people. So that took me into a place of how do I address this? And then I had a great love come to me and express to me, get out of your head, don't think about it. These are humans. We are humans, you know, and then come into this space and be guided divinely with however my guides are taking me through this choice of expression. I would like to kind of just give a little background on myself and me being here at this here and now moment. I grew up in Baltimore, Maryland, which is one of the most violent cities in America, where I grew up thinking that that's just how it was supposed to be, that this is just the norm. People being killed by police, killed by each other, that was just a part of everyday life. I participated in marches, a lot of what's going on now, to affect change, to help people, and that's just how I felt. And eventually, I got to the point where I felt like I was marching a lot and nothing was changing. Every march just had another march in a couple of months, and then it's another march in a couple of months. And I had to take a step back and think to myself, how can I really effectively move about and change? And I had to come back and realize that I was moving in anger, that I was moving in pain. And with moving in anger and moving in pain, just continuously perpetuated anger and pain. And it was then that I realized that I needed to shift that vibration and move in compassion and move in love. This has been my journey to heal the world, has been healing myself first, recognizing a lot of generational traumas that I have to clear, a lot of generational traumas that my people have to clear, a lot of pain and healing that needs to be made. And that started me on this journey, which led me to where I am today, meditating. And on this journey, I've noticed that a lot of these places and spaces, I am the only one that looks like me. And that has been very profound in recognizing that as much pain as we're going through, nobody really realizes or acknowledges it, because we have so many who are still stuck in anger. I can sit here and talk about George Floyd, or Trayvon Martin, or Sandra Bland, or go down the list of people who have been murdered by the police or murdered because of this systematic racism. But then I want to move into a more area of taking it from this physical world and moving into a more energetic and spiritual realm of realizing this is what is being placed to create the division between us humans, between us as energies. And when we feed into that, I'm Black, you're white, this is what's making us different. That's what's going to continue to perpetuate the things in our reality that we no longer want. So I wish to come forward in this space, acknowledging being a human, acknowledging being of energy, and appreciating all people as my people, no matter what the shell looks like. I give thanks for having this space to speak and be heard and bring awareness to the very real pain that exists within the so-called Black community. I was speaking earlier to my housemates about the fact that we have to now have talks with our children, young boys, about how to act with the police, and then just be quiet and keep your hands up. And it's just all about getting home safe. It's a very sad truth that these are the talks that we have. It's no longer to sit down, let's talk about the birds and the bees. It's let's sit down and let's talk about how we can make sure that as you're walking home from school that you'll make it here alive. How we have the traumatic experiences of every time hearing the sirens, no matter if it's on radio or a song, that we get this instant physical body reaction of our gut dropping and heartbeat. These are all very real effects of generations of trauma that this community has been experiencing. And through that, I desire to be in a place of, again, being an example to my community of putting our healing first, accepting that we are all energy, and that placing division between us or continued division between us is not going to get us anywhere, as it continues to prove. But bringing and allowing us to be on one accord as humans first, to get it done. And I've had people reach out to me asking how can they be of support to me, to my community, and things like that. And the first thing that comes to mind is, we don't necessarily need anyone to come save our day. We need our allies. That's what you guys are, allies. Being of privilege, which is, we know, the white man's privilege. We can talk about it all the time. We have people who can have anger towards the fact of this very real truth, or we can accept the fact that that is a truth. And now, how can I use that power to then affect change? Is how I choose to look at it. Instead of making someone, it's beginning this system of the oppressed oppressing the oppressor to help them feel well. And I don't agree with that. It's more so, I'm not mad at you because you were born into this shell, just like I don't want you to be mad at me for being born into this shell. But how can we come together and use our individual powers to affect the change that we all want? And I definitely say, support Black businesses, support Black healers, because at this point, we need to heal as a community. I stand in a place of speaking to a lot of groups and communities of people who are wanting to heal, and again, not having places to heal, not knowing where to go to heal. So again, if you know a Black healer out here trying to help this community, help the world, do this, because we have to just heal ourselves, support them, find out how you can support their business, find out how you can invest in, and then being able to go out and do this work on the ground to help heal this very hurt, angry community. Because as long as we keep walking in anger and hurt, that's all we will continue to perpetuate. And at this point, it's about learning to love, learning to forgive, having compassion, and for all for all living beings. So again, I give thanks to my ancestors. I give thanks to my guides, because I feel like there is no coincidence that I was placed here at this very specific time and specific place. And I do the work for my future generations so that the life and experiences that they feel can be just a little bit better than what I have to experience and what my ancestors have experienced. I give thanks again to you guys for being here and showing up and allowing me to have this space to share. And again, I just thank you for your support. Just be in love. Let's just be in love. That's just it. Let's just be in love. Acknowledge that people are out here hurting, and when you're hurt and when you're backed in the corner, you have no choice but to react. If we look at that in a sense of self, or if my sister was being attacked, my child was being attacked, Mama Bear is going to go out and handle the situation. And this is a very real place of where a lot of Black people are. Their children are being murdered right in front of them. Their cousins, their brothers, their sisters. It is happening. And at this point, it's no more, let's just be nice. So they're acting the only way that they can. They're blowing stuff up. They're setting things on fire. They're looting. They're robbing. They're hurt. They're hurt. And if we can understand and have compassion for that and understand how we can support a way for healing within this community, I feel like a lot of things can begin to be shifted with that. So again, that's my piece. I give thanks to Ifa, which has guided me a lot in this and allowed me to embrace and empower me on this journey through self-discovery and self-healing, and through that provide healing to my community as well. So thank you.
Thank you, Magik. It's just so incredible to have you as part of the Oak family, and to be here with you at this time is a great gift to us, to me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, your presence is wonderful. So we've got about 15 minutes left. We've been through a lot. It's been a journey. We've each had our own experience. I'd like to open the floor at this time for any final reflections, comments, shares, and would welcome anything that's alive for people that they, alive, that's one of the themes, that you'd like to bring forth into the space and share. And that could be, like, again, questions or shares, comments, reflections, anything. We have a hand from Renee.
Renee, you have to unmute yourself.
Unmute yourself, please, Renee.
I'm overwhelmed with the great privilege that it is to be a part of this community, and Magik, that you've joined this community and shared so bravely and vulnerably what your truth is, because here we are, you know, that we do have such great privilege, and we can't know from our lived experience what you know. And for you to share with us empowers us to know how to support, how to be allies. You're a great gift to me and to all of us. And I want to thank you and everyone for sharing this practice, because this is what heals the world. The practices that Pan has brought to us today, to work in this way to nourish ourselves, and then through this practice of joy, this is what heals the world. And it can feel really discordant to delve into joy and refreshment deeply this way. But it is absolutely true that this is what heals the world. So thank you, Magik. Thank you, Pan. Thank you, Oak. Thank you, friends.
Oh, thank you, Renee. Wow. Yeah, Renee, I just want to say that your message of empowerment and joy that you brought forth over the last couple of months has been really impactful for me, and I believe others. You've really brought some joy to this community and to me. That's been really important. Thank you.
Thank you.
Would others like to share? Okay, I see a hand up from Margaret. Okay, Margaret.
Thank you. Thank you, Magik, for sharing your story and your insights with us. I'm a Twitter user and have spent the past couple of days being pretty assertive and aggressive on Twitter. Last night I heard a man whose name I'm not going to be able to remember, an African-American author. He was on the news, and he said there's only two kinds of people. He's obviously talking about the context of the George Floyd murder, and he said there's only two kinds of people out there now, which is you're either a racist or an anti-racist. And I've been pretty fired up with my language on Twitter, and I think after sitting here tonight with you and all you lovely okers, that I'm going to pay a lot more attention to my language. I'm going to start changing my hashtags to more healing words, more compassionate tone. I might start with "We're all alive together." Yeah.
There you go. That could be your email signature.
It could be your email signature.
Okay, yeah. I already got the Lorax on there. I can't top Dr. Seuss.
Well, you'll have to read the recording to see if I'm quoting you correctly. Anyway, that I spent all morning listening to Soryu's talks, and here I am now, and it's always so important for me to come back into my body, into the moment, out of my head, and just get real with what I can do to help. And I think you'll see on one of the more recent questions on the Maple page, I think, is this idea of, what does meditation do? Why do we meditate? What does it do? And what I know that it has done for me, and I think the world, is here's one less enraged person on the planet, one less angry person, which isn't to say that I don't get angry, but in general, no, I am not that angry girl. I was for a long time. And so thank you for reminding me to pay a lot of attention to my words and act like an ally, not somebody throwing fuel on somebody's fire. Thank you.
Okay, I see another hand was raised by Amy. Can you unmute yourself, Amy? Is that right?
Yeah, I just want to share briefly a recent YouTube video that I've seen that was deeply inspiring to me. It was an interview that Maya Angelou gave with BBC some years ago. Obviously, she is no longer with us. And there was this woman that she's been through a lot. She was a genius. And I don't know her life story very well, but just from what I knew, she was an incredible human being. And deep down, and what really resonated with me was, despite going through what she did, trauma of just unfathomable trauma as a young child, she said that, well, you know, I don't have any resentment or hate for anyone. And I think that I can't really paraphrase her very well, but she feels that that would only harm her to harbor hatred and to harbor ill will, not in those words. And that just really resonated with me, that all the time when I have been resentful, when I have been on edge about something, it's doing certainly nobody any good. But in the meantime, it was just harming me. And if someone that has gone through that sort of life experience could walk on the earth with lightness, with love, what is it that I couldn't do? Why shouldn't I be able to do that? Yeah, it was, I mean, I would encourage that if you get the chance to check it out. It's on YouTube. It's an interview she gave with BBC, and it was just really inspiring, amazing woman.
Thank you, Amy. Yeah, that's powerful. Wow. Yes.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to go a little bit into a metaphor, which sort of came up to me in the water meditation, and for me it ties up with Magik's words, which was when visualizing water. I guess we started from a cup of water, but then we moved on to like a flowing river and the ocean, and that often kind of brings up an experience of drowning to me, which did happen, and it's a very strong memory. So it comes up when thinking of water. But then it's a very interesting exercise to kind of let go of that aspect of water, of kind of the tough love of water, and try to bring it to something gentler. And I think I'll leave it at that, just as a metaphor.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. I feel like there's a lot of richness to that share that will have a sense will continue to unfold for me. Thank you. Pam sent a message that said, yes, me too, with drowning. Yeah. And one of the things that I want to just transmit to you in this moment is I've learned in trauma-informed mindfulness that sometimes people can have associations with past experiences when meditating or doing visualization practice. And so I'm working on, as much as I can in my meditations, giving everybody a context that at any time, if you need to, you can take care of yourself or go back to your body, go back to the breath, whatever the meditation. So that's just something that I'm learning more about. And I think, your exploration sounds maybe different than that, where you actually, you went into this thing and then you're able to, oh, how can this be gentle? And exploring that too. But it's something that I think is important. And so I'm going to keep bringing that into my guidance, and appreciate that too. Oh, certainly, yeah.
I just wanted to, in reference to the Twitter comments and the comment at the Twitter, it made me think of something I wanted to say but completely forgot, as far as holding people accountable. You know, holding that uncle or cousin or grandma that may have said something inappropriate just because it's a joke and it's just how it is, and it's about standing up and holding these people accountable for their belief systems that are created in a way that may have been a joke to them, but are very real and causing real reactions. You know, I know, you know, with the whole police situation, once they take their uniforms off, they're real people. They have families, and whoever's in families with these people, just keeping that context within them to let them know that everybody out here are people. We're all beings, and treating people in that equality by holding our family members, our close people within our life accountable for certain comments and ways of being, how that can perpetuate hate that they may not even realize. So thank you for that.
Oh, yeah, that's a form of compassion.
I actually have a question about that. Like, it's been on my mind.
I need to voice that we're getting towards the end of our time. So we don't have a ton of time left, but you can ask the question. I just want you to be aware that we're rounding out the time.
Could you give more specifics on how to hold like family members accountable lovingly and compassionately?
Yeah.
Great question.
Let's just say, you know, one is speaking up on it in the here and now. You know, that is compassion within itself. Just say someone made a joke, you know, oh, it's this racist joke, that's funny, I know this, I'm just saying it, ha ha, stop. No, that's inappropriate. You know, and just right there, just very stern with it. Now, I believe that's inappropriate. And then bringing it into a human space, it's like, these are humans. These are people you're talking about are actually humans with feelings. And how would you feel? You know, what if this was said about you? What if this was said about your child? You know, bringing it back so they can actually relate and feel a connection. A lot of times these words or phrases or belief systems are created because there is no connection. You have no way to connect to this person or this experience. So it's whatever. But when you bring it back into a human feel, into something they can actually connect with, what if that was your child? What if that was one of your family members? Then it can actually give that, oh, okay, well, true. This is life. This is a person. This is feelings. You know, so again, just scratching it right there at the tip, like right there in the here and now, nip it in the bud, and relate it and bring it back into a human concept of where they can maybe relate. If that makes sense.
I love that. Bringing and that connection piece just is really resonating with me. The humanness. I only posted one thing about the George Floyd. It was an article from his family commemorating him as a human being. And it was just like, here are the good things about this person, and to connect with this person. And so it's my hope that these practices can help us connect with the whole web of life, the whole family, everybody out there, all over the world, one, united, interconnected, living, breathing, water, sun, earth, everything, family, team life.
Team life.
Team life, yes, go team life. So it has been my absolute pleasure and joy. Please send me any feedback that you have about this. I'm hoping to develop these practices more. This is like kind of a lot of it just my own stuff that I'm exploring, and my own weird path of a mixture of all kinds of different spiritual influences and nature-based everything and Buddhism. And anyway, I welcome any feedback that you have, good, bad, or ugly. Anyway, jokes aside, y'all are wonderful. Thank you for being here. And we'll be back next week with another Saturday Sit with Joshin's return. So hope to see you then. Reach out to us if you want to be in touch. And thank you for doing this practice.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for hosting.
This was wonderful. Thank you, everybody.